Base prep. Base prep, base prep is so important, so critical to the project. And remember, I had 12 crews, and I had to teach as quickly as I could the second foreman, the second on the crew, so I could expand my crews sizes or number of crews I had. And I had to teach systems. I realized really quickly that I could not rely on one person to do all my base prep. And so I changed my way. Instead of having each block being put down and you're pounding it with a rubber mallet, trying to get it down into place, or shimming it with gravel to get it up to place. Now we have differential settlement all the way along that base unit if we do each one separately like that. And I wasn't going to rely on George, who had just watched the Super Bowl and watched his team lose, and he's not seeing straight the day after, to set my base, because he's setting the pace. So I had everything done in a system. I had these leveling tools that were put on either side of the trench, put pipes across it. We shot them in with levels, and we would screed. Everything was screeded dead on, all the way through that leveling pad, all the way from the first elevation change to the second elevation change. And then I started installing product. Not until I had finished screeding that first leveling area. And then I would use string line, chalk line, straight edges, whatever I could for straight walls. On convex concave curves, I had 100 to 120 feet of PVC pipe, 3/4 inch electrical stuff, male, female ended, clip them together, and I would lay that out perfectly all the way through, and I'd scribe it with a trowel or paint it with a spray paint, and then I would lay my blocks to that, and I never ever touched my block again. We never hit or pounded our block, ever. And we had, remember I talked about those perfect curves, convex and everything's perfect? Those contractors do this kind of system on everything they do. I encourage you to make sure that you don't have individual blocks being pounded into place. You'll never get the perfect project, and you won't have speed. We could have 400 lineal feet of base prep done in about 6 hours, and that would be 2 rows high, finished on a wall, and it would be perfect, absolutely perfect every time. The batter on that wall, going back and forth and linear, would be absolutely perfect. Who does this? Anybody do this kind of base prep? Good. Because that's the most important. Everything is on that base prep will reflect on your wall after that. We have automatic clamps that will lock in, pick it up, instead of this spreader chain. You can use relatively small equipment. One of the advantages of a big block is that we can get fairly heavy equipment behind it. Anybody NCMA certified contractors? If I would encourage you to do that, like the ICPI certification program. Same thing, NCMA have a SRW certification program. I would encourage you to do that. But they say that you're not supposed to compact behind the wall because these small SRW wall products will rotate in that kind of a compaction area. With these bigger blocks, we have the ability to compact behind because they're large enough to withstand that overturning construction process. And you can see that, you know, these are large projects with big eucalypts. See this, the mat there? There was water in the bank. This is a big wall. That was going to be a huge project. But they had to have those mats in there in order to take care of that water.